Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip in the independent film universe to highlight those films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. Will you agree with our panel, or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, are my excellent co-hosts, Claire Milan.
So hello everyone, hello.
and and joining myself and Claire is Cathal Feeney.
Hello.
Okay, Claire, what's on the agenda this week?
So this week I chose a short animation called Paperman, which is from Walt Disney. It was released in 2012 as part of a package with Wreck-It Ralph. It centers on an accountant called George who's on a platform, and there's a woman as well, and she loses a piece of paper and hits him in the face, and then he loses a bit of paper and hits her in the face, and her lipstick gets imprinted onto the paper, and then she takes off into the train. And he's thinking about her, and he's sitting in his office. He looks across and he sees through the open window the same woman. So he tries to get her attention by firing paper airplanes across the street into the open window with very little success. And he runs out of paper and then has the one with the lipstick on it and fires it across. And it doesn't hit her and she doesn't take much notice, but certain magical things happen. And it's a really sweet little film, and there's actually no dialogue in it. There's certain kind of sound effects, and but it's all done through music and expression in the animation. It's written and directed by a guy called John Cares. He's an animator who worked on a lot of big films, and also won the Academy Award in 2012 for Best Short Animation, and an Annie Award as well, which is the Animation Awards. Yeah, I thought it was a really beautiful film, very like a silent film in one way, even though there is music to it and you can hear them make sounds, the two characters. And the main character, George, is based on George from It's a Wonderful Life, which I found out afterwards. And the writer-director, John Cares, actually pitched this to Disney when he was working on another project called Tangled, but Disney turned it down at the time because they were too busy working on other projects. So it took him a good while to make it. And I did see this a few years ago, and then I was like, oh, I forgot about this film. I really want to revisit it. And it's still as beautiful as ever. And it just shows you what you can do, even through an animation with no words. And it's like a 2D animation as well, so there's no 3D special effects. And I think it's very powerful, simple storytelling, but very, very beautiful. So what do you guys think of it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was the black and white just makes it nice and kind of has that nice aged feeling to it. And I agree with 2D animation. I'm actually not a huge fan of 3D animation in general. And it works for this. Although, I mean, it was kind of a jerk move on the girl's part to leave the guy at the station because clearly he was waiting for the same train, and she hops on and just leaves him sitting there. Like, that's not very nice.
But it's a setup. It's a setup with the whole thing.
But other than her being kind of a jerk. Yeah, I know. But still, like, this is it. Are you getting on the train? But anyway, I thought it was really sweet. And it was nice how there wasn't any dialogue, but they did such a good job with the animation, with the character expressions and the sound effects and music that went along with it that helped carry that whole story. So I agree. I thought it was really lovely. The black and white thing worked perfectly. I can't fault it at all.
Yeah. Well, now for the jaded, cynical viewpoint.
Well, that's usually what we get from you, so it's okay. All right, we're used to it.
You're just Simon Cowell of No Budget.
I don't know. It is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you give balance, No, it is a very nice, sweet, romantic, magical film. All that is true.
But
it's interesting that it was set in the 1940s. I was reading, which seems to kind of hark back to a more innocent era, because like films from that period would have been based much more around romance, say, than today. But it is the epitome of a Disney film, like extra lashings of cuteness and sweetness and sentiment. So it's very much kind of aimed at the emotions. I wonder what the version you sent us was that the original music? Do you know?
Oh,
Because there was another version online, and some guy actually commented that like it was different music. So I'm just wondering, like, it's been up a few years. So would Disney leave it up there? You know, if it wasn't the same music, or if it was the same music. And also one of the comments underneath it was, "What a beautiful song at the end." But there was no song at the end, was there?
I don't remember there being a song other than the song during the credits.
Yeah. So maybe
was there a song during the credits?
That's what I'm saying. There was a song during the credits, but I don't remember. It didn't stand out as anything like other than a nice little credit song.
Or maybe was there? I don't remember it. Yeah, maybe it was then. But I have to say, like, I was a bit stressed out with the whole throwing the paper airplanes out the window, because I just thought, like, I was just thinking of all that litter. You know, what a self-entitled asshole, just littering the entire street, just, because of his own feelings. But, otherwise, it was a nice film.
Yeah, he could have just went downstairs, across the street, up the stairs, and knocked on the door in the other place, really.
Yeah.
Or went downstairs and waited for her to come outside, and then walked and like mistakenly bumped into her and be like, "Oh, what? I work right across the street. I was just on my way back to the office."
I suppose in that moment, you're not thinking rationally.
Yeah.
If I do that, she'll go and I'll never see her again. So you want to maintain eye contact.
John Cares, he wrote it because he used to go to Central Station a lot, and then he'd see like people passing by or a beautiful woman or something, and that's kind of where the idea came from. But he brought it to he works for Disney, and he brought it to his bosses, and they turned it down, and so it took him a while to get there, and then it won the Oscar and the Annie Award. So
probably because they were like, "Where's all the animated animals and the singing?"
Yes, yeah. Where is it?
We need some singing raccoons. Put some singing raccoons in it, and we'll make it.
Those paper airplanes were pretty bog standard, I'm surprised they made it as far as the window ledge.
Yeah, that style of airplane isn't known for being the best. Yeah,
but I think I love the 1940s, and like there's kind of a very feeling of nostalgia about it. Like there's something really special about this era, and I think it captures that. Like there's no mobile phones in it, and and the black and white. There's something about black and white, isn't there? There's just something. It makes you feel like really nostalgic or something. And I love the colors in it, and it's something special about it, I think.
The actor's name that played George Bailey, I can't think of his name.
James Stewart.
Yeah, James Stewart. I mean, he went off to war and became a pilot. So there you go. It is based on James Stewart.
Yeah.
And he came back.
He did come back, though. So there's that. Yeah.
Unlike Glenn Miller.
Yeah.
Sorry, Claire. It is a lovely, heartwarming, romantic film. It would melt the heart of the most jaded soul.
Except for Cahill, he's too jaded for that.
Exactly.
No, I mean that sincerely.
That it melted your heart? It melted your jaded heart?
Yeah. Well, I had to turn the heat on, but yeah.
All right. Well, should we rate it then?
Yeah. Go on.
First, yes.
Okay.
Well, despite everything I said, it was a very, very touching, very nice, very, magical film. So I will give it 3.5 stars.
I was wondering if you're going to do 3, or like, if you went 3, then we'd like say something about your jaded heart again. So you had to give that little. I'm going to go 4. I liked it. I thought it was really, really nicely done. I can't fault it for anything.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to give it 4.5, because it isn't almost perfect, but it's nostalgic. It's romantic. It's the 1940s. Yeah, I loved it. I saw it a few years ago and it was lovely to revisit it. So 4.5 for me.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, there you have it. No Budget Filmcast audience. We'll, of course, throw a link into the notes. Check it out. We like it. We think you should see it. And of course, as always, feel free to follow us or reach out to us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at No Budget Show. And until next time, we will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Claire Milan.
Hello.
There we go.
Let's do a delay. Sorry.
I think your bandwidth is slow again, Claire.
I think, it's awful. It's just horrific. Sorry.
Yeah.
So just and cut that bit out.